Hi, I'm Yannick Hanfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Wolfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the gametolovepodcast. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Game to Love Tennis Podcast live play-by-play stream. I am your host for this one. My name is Covey. I'm sitting here in Vancouver, BC, Canada, 12:13 p.m. over here. It's 9:13 p.m. in Rome, where Stefanos TSITSIPAS is about to serve. He has elected to serve first. First point goes to Stefanos TSITSIPAS. Welcome, everyone. Just wanted to say hi and thank you for joining me. Please do give this video a like if you're having a good time, and also subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified as to when all of our videos will be dropping. Now, I'm going to need from you some predictions, and I'll give you my prediction right after this. And also, before I get to predictions, hey, Manor, one of the all-stars in the house. Always awesome to have Manor in here. All right, let me know who you think is going to win, what the scoreline is going to be, all that stuff right after this. Okay, so we are into it, folks. 2 points specifically, and it's 30 love for TSITSIPAS. First serve is Alette. So you're probably wondering, what's the head-to-head with these guys? Well, it's very interesting. 5 years ago today, they played for the very first time in Rome in this very tournament. And Borna retired after 5 games. So they only played about 25 minutes. And so that was the only time on tour level, believe it or not, out of 4 that TSITSIPAS won. TSITSIPAS has lost 3 other matches at tour level, and then also this year TSITSIPAS won in the United Cup. That does not count as a tour level on the tour level in terms of the record. So TSITSIPAS is technically, he's 3-2. One was at the United Cup this year, the most latest one, hard court, and then he also won in Rome 5 years ago today. This is their anniversary of the first time they ever met, and again, that was a retirement from CORIC. Hold to love for TSITSIPAS. So very tidy start from the Greek. Yeah. All right. So, folks, please do join the YouTube membership. There you go. Bam. And it's also pinned in the chat there. So you can take a look there if you would like to become a member on YouTube, and then you can use the Covey emoji, the brand new emoji of my face, which is pretty cool to see. 1 match away from Steph versus Medvedev. Oh, by the way, predictions. I'm going to go ahead and say Stefanos is going to take it today. I'm going to say Stefanos in 3 sets. He's going to overcome the mental hurdle that is, although he is, again, it was a retirement, but he is 1-0 on clay. So in their only match, that only went 5 games. But I think he was even up a break. So anyways, Borna now serving the Croatian. First time in this match. First serve is long. Hey, Covey and everyone. Hello, Max. Also hello to Kathy saying, hey. I'm just putting up 1,000 crickets that got delivered today. Be right back. Wow. And it's a double fault to kick off this match here for CORIC. Is that an omen? Let's hope not. I ate some toast with peanut butter earlier. I hope I'll be okay. Oh, that is nothing wrong with some toast and peanut butter. Covey, hi, Manor, Kathy, Max, hello, Suwon Lim, SWL in the HIZZ, Heezy. I don't know how to spell it. I lost my train of thought there. And then we got Kathy with the GTL, the Covey emoji. Same with Suwon. There's a Covey emoji now. Yeah, you just Suwon just found out. It's just a couple days old, so you haven't missed it for too long, Suwon. But great that you get to play around with it as a member. We got Kathy saying CORIC in 3. We got TSITSIPAS is going to take it in straight sets, 3 and 4, says Suwon. Ghosty in the house, crickets and peanut butter. What's going on in this chat? Yeah, it's just starting and we're already getting into the food. Just watched the presentation for Google AI response to ChatGPT. The war is on. Far more insane times are coming. Far more insane times are coming. Fake news on steroids. Oh gosh. That's from Cap. Welcome from Bulgaria. Ghost, I said that earlier to make sure I'm not allergic to peanut butter. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Yeah, definitely you want to make sure you find out before you go blind into something like that. Borna Chorich. I was born a ghost. Oh, that's hilarious. And that's a knee slapper, as they call it. All right, Chorich, 30-15. We got a backhand-to-backhand rally. So if you are aware of Borna Chorich, he is known for having a very solid backhand. One of the reasons for this, I learned actually in the prep for this match, is he's a naturally left-handed, but he plays tennis right-handed. And so that's why his backhand side is, normally if you're left-handed, you're left, that side is your forehand. So that's pretty interesting. And Rafael Nadal, speaking of Rafael Nadal, huge press conference earlier today, and we'll talk about that a little bit, I'm sure. But Rafael Nadal is actually right-handed. When he writes signatures and, does other things, chopping vegetables, he's right-handed. But when he plays tennis, he's a lefty. So very interesting. And you know who else is like that? Leila Annie Fernandez, I believe, and maybe even Paula Badosa. So there's a bunch of interesting. I always wondered about that. Max, maybe you should consult a doctor first, homie. Ghost, that's right. Yep. Reverse Rafa, says Kathy. Both AIs are insufficient. ChatGPT and Bard will lie to you. I haven't really gotten too much into it. I do have one cousin who is you pay $20 a month for ChatGPT. He actually does work in the crypto space, so that's like right up his alley kind of stuff. Ooh, Chorich with a beautiful serve out wide, and he had, I think Tsitsipas must have been 12 feet beyond the doubles alley when he struck the ball, and he ran around the backhand. He would have had a tough time getting back in the court, but Chorich just rings a Shankarooski off the top of his frame, and it flies straight upwards. And now it is deuce. So, Chorich under pressure right away here. First service game. Nice return from Tsitsipas on the backhand. Backhand Chorich. And now Tsitsipas. Actually, that one skidded off the line weird. So I can see why Tsitsipas shanked that and also hit it off the frame and also went upward. So back-to-back Shankaroos. Here we are. All right. And Borna Chorich, serve +1 comes in. Inside in forehand winner. And he holds after a little bit of pressure. Didn't face any break points. But he did get to was forced to play a deuce and beyond. Let's see. If Holger were to be in the finals, I'm not sure if Medi could beat him. If Holger were to play Medi in the final, I would be choosing, or I would be like, my guess would be Runa would be the favorite in that, and I could see him winning. The only thing that I could potentially see becoming an issue is sometimes Holger Rune, and this is, I think, just because he's young and getting used to the tour. He's a big kid and he's strong, but sometimes he has a tendency to break down physically, and Medvedev is one of those guys who can extend rallies, make it really physical. Same thing that happens to Jannik Sinner sometimes when you make it very physical, and Medvedev is one of those guys who can make it physical because he's so physical and able to get everything back so often. And so anyways, I'm saying all this to say that that's one of the things that I could see breaking down for Rune, but I would still say that I'd give him the slight advantage, not a heavy advantage, slight advantage. And especially, he beat Novak, so he's obviously, running on some good highs. Talking about Rome there. I've been exploring the large language models that underpin each as a research tool for a book, and I'm not impressed. Librarians are way more reliable. I'm exploring the large language models that underpin each as a research tool for a book. I'm not fully comprehend. I don't know if it's me or what, but or the wording of this. You're talking about the Dewey Decimal System or something here, or something a little. Okay, Capricorn. They will lie to you, but they constantly improve, and one day we'll learn from other AIs. Okay, there's more AI stuff, and the upcoming capabilities for image and voice manipulation are going to swing elections globally. Yeah, we're gonna get to a point where there's gonna be fake videos of people you hate saying things that you love, and you're gonna be very confused, and you're gonna wonder what the heck's going on in the world. Yeah, it's gonna be a little crazy. All right, so Stefanos holds in his second service game, and we are on serve. You're probably wondering, Covey, what else happened today? Well, there's very big news. Rafael Nadal has officially pulled out of Roland Garros. He also will not be at Wimbledon. He says he'll see when he's going to get back onto the practice court. Could be 2 months or 4 months. He said he doesn't know, but his hip has been an issue, and he just they thought that he was going to be able to, get ready for Roland Garros. He tried his hardest to be able to, but he said he had to listen to his body. And so Rafael Nadal will not be playing likely the 3 majors this year, but maybe, I think it's possible. The most likely scenario is that he may play in the U.S. Open. Other than that, I don't see him playing Wimbledon. And, obviously he's not going to play Roland Garros. Yeah, he won't be playing Wimbledon for sure. So, yeah. That's the only potential chance. If not, we'll have to wait maybe till Australia, and that's just in terms of majors. But he also said that 2024 will probably also be his last year. So hopefully he'll be able to have a chance to kind of go on the places that he can go on the tour swing that year, next year, and say goodbye to his favorite places. So huge news over there. Also news, Medvedev is going to face the winner of this match because he won against Yannick Hanfmann. And who had Yannick Hanfmann as their Yannick to go furthest in this draw? Congrats to him, by the way. It was a pretty good run. But Medvedev 2-2, an easy victory for the top Russian and the top. One of the hottest players on tour is what I was trying to say about Medvedev. So Coric makes his way to the net, and the lob attempt from Tsitsipas goes long. 15-love for Borna. Tournament so far, returns made 41% from the forehand side, Tsitsipas, and 66% from the backhand side. So basically, if you serve to his backhand, you're going to guarantee yourself 1 out of every three serves that you land in that runs on his backhand. See, that sort of stat, if you have that stat live in real time and you can coach and say, hey, look, 1 out of 3 times you're serving to this guy's backhand, you're getting a guaranteed point. These are the types of things with coaching now coming in and advanced analytics. I'm curious to see if people are going to start taking advantage of these types of stats. And it would be very, very smart. I know there's a lot of chatter sometimes about, there's too much coaching going on with some of the younger players. I know for sure there's a lot of stuff people say that about Alcaraz. Coric goes +1 cross court, and then Tsitsipas got there, tried to go up the line, but just wide. So Coric nicely aggressive here in his service points, up 30-love. So they're talking about, some people are saying, can Alcaraz win without his coach and blah, blah. I think that's all kind of malarkey. Obviously, he's getting a lot of help from his coach, but if you're playing in this day and age when it's legal and it's allowed and you're paying a coach, it would be kind of silly not to use a coach. And funny enough, I heard the opposite recently when Novak lost yesterday or a couple days ago to Holger Rune. I was reading on Twitter, there's a whole bunch of Novak fans. Now they started saying, how come Goran Ivanisevic is so quiet? He should be talking more, and all this stuff. So it's kind of funny how you see all sides of these kind of debates. Anyways, I did see one of my favorites in the house. Her name is Ems, and she's from Ireland. Welcome, Ems. It's a Thursday evening in Ireland. What is it, about 8:30 or so, I'm thinking. Welcome to you. Always great to have Ems in here. Ems is one of the biggest Rafa fans as well. So let us know. I'm curious to know. I'm sure it's bittersweet. So sweet in the sense that, the news about Rafa wasn't that he's retiring, but, he has kind of signaled the beginning of the end. So, yeah, curious to know. All Rafa fans, let us know in the comments. Even if you're someone who doesn't normally comment, feel free. This is there's there's few days a year where it's like a real blip on the tennis radar every year, and today's announcement is one of those. It's like kind of like when Roger announced that the Laver Cup would be his retirement kind of tournament. That was also like that day that he announced it was a blip in the radar of tennis that year. So today is one of those days. So yeah, let's talk about that. Remember, that's exactly what Holger did to Novak. He just rallied till Novak made an error, which is, that's what Novak's usually so good at. He's so good at tactically kind of knowing how to exploit people as the point goes on. And yeah, Holger Rune, he also has the mentality, the fearless mentality. And that's what I think some of these young guys, we always kind of been talking about more and more lately. They have this mentality that some of these other guys, like the Tsitsipas, the CORIC generation, these guys, it feels like, this group of guys that got dominated by the big three. Like, you feel bad for some of them, because some of these guys, honestly, like if the big three typically retired at like maybe younger ages, because now, and people are going longer and longer. By the way, CORIC is up 40-30 game point here. 15 minutes in, we're on serve 1-2. Also, we'll get into the kit situations in a second. They've been pretty much wearing the same kits for the last few tournaments, both of these guys. But yeah. Anyways, let's see here. Yes, Max, he's not cramped in a long time. I don't think Med will wear him down. Speaking of Holger Rune, yeah, I also see that, Kathy. I think he puts in the work, and I think that his body is becoming accustomed. Nice serve to the backhand of Tsitsipas, and hey, when you serve to the backhand of Tsitsipas, you win 1 out of 3 points. And he won the point there, and we are on serve 2-all. How about a little bit of button action for Borna this time?
Borna. Charic. Borna. Charic. Borna. Charic.
Also regarding Holger saying he will have had an extra day off too. Yeah, that's very, very good point. Yeah, and it's best of 3 as well. I think more likely in a best of 5, he would have more issues, especially if he would be playing Medvedev later in a tournament like a major. He would be facing him after 4 or 5 matches. So definitely Holger for French Open, says Ems. And then we've got Vojkan Miladinovic. Welcome, Vojkan. Idemo Borna. Nice. And then we got Gerald Aruna. Hey guys, welcome. Ivanisevic is quiet because he's too handsome to waste energy on vowels. Capricorn is just in love with Ivanisevic. Got that, if I recall, the masculine dad energy. Is that what it was that you said yesterday? Not sure what this is saying, but I'm a kebab tvoi Holger. Hopefully I said something that makes some sort of sense to you there, Vojkan. Sorry for butchering the language. I'm okay now, says Ems, in regards to the Rafa news. It was just a bit intense earlier because I didn't know what was going to happen. Ready to give my all with support for Rafa next year. There you go. That is a true supporter right there. Not Ben's best button. The Borna CORIC, says Sean. I'll be sure to let him know. I saw this coming long ago with Rafa, so I had prepared my mind. I'm very excited for the Rybakina Penko thriller tomorrow. Yes, so am I. Definitely am, for sure. I was also excited to potentially see Iga and Penko because I'm very eager to see peak Penko versus peak Iga at some point. I'm sure that will happen. We will see that. But yeah. Kathy saying, I'm fine if Rafa calls it quits. There's a quote from the presser where he says, this wasn't my decision. It was my body's decision. He wants to see if he can heal enough to make a strong comeback. Yeah, and, that's very smart, right? If you force your mind to say, I'm doing it no matter what, then you might just, put yourself in overdrive and hurt yourself, like, to a point where it could hinder your quality of life. And, we already know that he potentially does have, some hindrances already. You can't go through a almost 20-year professional career and go through all these injuries and continually keep coming back and be known for such intense tennis without that. So definitely smart of him to kind of listen to the body, right? Your body's going to tell you. I think Roger did that too. I'm sure he wanted to play Wimbledon. I'm sure that's all he was thinking of, training every day for about a year last year. And then when the time came, he was just like, I won't be able to do it. Not at any standard that I could allow myself to play it. So let's see here. Cubby, do you know who is next to Steph's daddy? Steph's dad. I will have. They did actually just show his dad. I didn't look to see. Let me. If they show him again, I'll take a look. Tsitsipas with an easy hold. And we are still on serve here, 3-2. And it was a game to 30. Kathy, I definitely want to see Penko versus Iga. I think if she doesn't hit Iga off the court, she has the capability to totally fluster her. See, that's kind of what I'm curious about too, Kathy, is I want to see how, because I know how Iga can handle an Ostapenko that's not firing. She's not redlining. It's going to be an easy match for her. Ostapenko gets emotional. She gets a little, starts getting crazy with all the calls and blah, 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 blah. But when she's redlining, when she's hugging people after matches, when she's got that vibe, that energy, the energy that she kind of has right now and has started built up for the last couple months, I think that Ostapenko, which doesn't show up as often, and that's why Iga's, way higher in the rankings and all that stuff. But when that Ostapenko shows up, I think could really fluster in the similar ways that Rybakina and Sabalenka can in certain moments. M saying, I'm gobsmacked Rafa can even stand anymore, the amount he has ran over the years. I mean, the thing that's the craziest to me, the ultimate craziest, was how he had to numb his foot. Do you know how crazy that is? That means that if you actually sprain your ankle in the middle of a point, you might not even know you did it because he actually numbed his foot that much. That is how crazy. That's just insanity to me, and I know hockey, just in the playoffs recently, a guy got 75 stitches and came back like 12 minutes later. He only missed like 8 shifts. So, I've seen these moments of stuff like that, but the 2 weeks of playing on a frozen foot is like, that is mind-boggling to me, because I actually have had I had something frozen before, and then I kind of played on it and I hurt it more without knowing it because it was frozen. That was a hockey injury, which you can kind of get away with the ankle in hockey if you're still in the boot, or you can get the boot over it because it has such great ankle support. But anyways, that is a different story altogether. Capricorn, agree to disagree. I'm a fan of Rafa, but to each their own. I knew Penko was going to be a dark horse in Rome. I wonder if I think she honestly might be one of my dark horses, legit dark horses in France. Borna Chorich with a beautiful serve out wide, a +1 drop shot. Tsitsipas didn't even give it a shot. 15 love. Max, we definitely missed an opportunity. Medi and Rublev meeting in the quarters at Rome. Yeah, but hey, Hanfman, yeah. Rublev's been playing a lot of tennis. He's been making it deep into tournaments. So I think he'll be happy. But I see what you mean. It's always good to watch those two. I like how much respect and love they have for each other. You really truly feel like Medvedev is like a bigger brother to Rublev, or at least that's a sense that I get. Like it's like there's real affection there. It's not just like, oh, we're from the same country and we hang because of that. No, it's like, it's that, and I also like really just like you as a person, on top of the fact that we're both doing this thing that we love. Tsitsipas backhand lob attempt over Chorich at the net, but it lands in the alley. 40 love triple game point. So far this match, obviously I've been talking a lot about other stuff. This match has been fairly routine. The server has pretty much been dominating, and both of these guys are big servers, so not a surprise. No one has faced a break point just yet. First serve at 40 love is wide. Here comes the second. Cap saying, Reba just so strong mentally. I'm constantly impressed by her composure. She had dominated in the first set yesterday against Iga, 6-2. Iga from the first ball it's like she came out saying, by the way, backhand from Tsitsipas directly into the net. and that is a hold to love. We're tied at 3 now here in the first set. Yeah, so Rybakina, she was completely dominated in the first set, and then she was down 4-2 in the second set, but at no point did she show it at all. And just like when she wins Wimbledon and doesn't raise her arms, she also doesn't, cry when she loses or get, emotional or anything like that. So I think that does something to the opponent. The opponent is just like, I'm killing it right now, and she's just playing every point the same. And anyways, who knows what would have happened in that third set. It's really a shame yesterday that Iga got injured at 2-2 in the third set, because both of them were just starting to play their best right at the end of the second set. And anyways, so too bad for Iga, but I think she'll be okay. I really do hope that she rests. 10 days, luckily, is enough. I think enough time to for her. But again, I don't know the severity. All I know is that she obviously could not push from her right leg out to her left. Like, she couldn't push her body to the left at all. So there was like 2 points towards the very end. The last 2 points, balls went to her left, and she just didn't even move. 15-all serve is good. Backhand return, Coric. Forehand inside out, Tsitsipas. Lob from Coric, and it lands very deep in behind the baseline. Smash from Tsitsipas, and he goes directly diagonally across court, and it's a winner on the overhead there. Nice shot, Tsitsipas. Good footwork coming back from the net to hit that overhead. Nice little bounce. Yeah, placed it perfectly in the very far corner of the court, which gives you the greatest margin for depth as well. So everything about that was a smart point. Nice serve out wide. Coric return is good. Lands deep. And Tsitsipas hits a forehand off the tape, gets a lucky bounce, bounces on Coric's side, and Coric could not get to it on time. Unlucky bounce for him. Tsitsipas, 40-15, double game point. Tsitsipas, what is he wearing? Well, he's wearing what he has been. He's got this purple and lavender, light purple lavender-y kind of flowery pattern on one half of his shirt, and the other half is white. It's Adidas. He's got a black Adidas headband. Ooh, beautiful serve and volley, and just a nice little delicate backhand volley. And it landed, I think, right on the sideline, and maybe a little close for comfort, but nothing to be worried about. And he holds easily. Game to 15 there. So he's got a black wristband on the right wrist, black Adidas shorts, black socks, black shoes. So, yeah, there you go. Black on top, black on the bottom, and in some of the middle. And then the white and lavender shirt. Oh, all right. Man, talking about... we'll get into Coric as well in a second. Max, I ate toast earlier and I'm craving an omelet now. Well, get it, girl. That's all I can say. Also, Penko's volatility, it can make one crazy. Yeah, definitely. I saw that hockey game, Cubby, was against the Islanders. No, it was a Winnipeg versus who did they? No, it was the first round. It was the Winnipeg. Who did they play in the first round? They lost to, was it Dallas? I think it was Winnipeg, Dallas. Yeah, it was really, really crazy. It was a guy on the Winnipeg Jets. He got 75 stitches. Charles Barkley, they interviewed him on a hockey podcast, and he was like, I saw some guy get 75 stitches, and he came back, and he's like, if a basketball player got 75 stitches, he'd retire. I'm kind of glad Rublev went out. He needs a rest. Rublev is Med's daughter's godfather. There you go. Yeah, so you definitely have that true camaraderie, that family sort of bond. Covey, if you have to pick a next big three after the current ones, which players would you pick? Gotta go. Honestly, it's kind of easy to say this right now. If you're talking men's, it would kind of be Alcaraz, Sinner, Rune, I would say. I still have a sneaking suspicion that there's going to be a couple other kids that are kids right now that we haven't heard of that are going to be in the category. Like maybe someone who's like what Djokovic is to Roger, right? So like a good 6 years difference. Rafael's 4 or 5 years difference from Roger. So something like that. But yeah, I would say those three. What do you think, Alex? Let me know. And then on the women's side, you can't really argue currently with what's going on with the Rybakina, Sabalenka, Iga. I think they're pretty solidly right now as it stands, kind of there right now. I also think I have a feeling Ben Shelton might be a player. He's always smiling. Like players like that, sometimes it's like it makes you more powerful if you can always enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think. So I might put Ben Shelton in there. All right, Chorich, serve +1. The +1 is long and wide, 15 all. The Ice Queen, says Kathy, in regards to Elena Rybakina. When Rybakina won Indian Wells and showed little to no emotion, Lindsay Davenport said, "I swear she just won the title." LOL. Yeah, for sure. She didn't even raise her hands when she won Wimbledon. She literally just was like that. And then she wiped her lip, I think, or something like that. It was seriously hilarious. It was almost like she was like in a dream thinking like, is this happening? Did I do this? Are we playing a match? Like, it was so interesting. All right, second serve here, 15 all. And Tsitsipas runs around the backhand, hits a forehand. Now forehand Chorich, backhand Tsitsipas, backhand Chorich, forehand Tsitsipas, forehand Chorich, forehand Tsitsipas, backhand Chorich, forehand Tsitsipas, inside out, backhand Chorich, backhand Tsitsipas, forehand Chorich, inside out, backhand Tsitsipas up the line, forehand up the line from Chorich, Tsitsipas again up the line, forehand Chorich, forehand Tsitsipas, and blocked back from Chorich, but lands in the alley, and a little bit of pressure now. It's 15-30. The Croatian feeling it as Tsitsipas rips a nice cross-court forehand. The angle on his last shot, the one that forced Chorich to hit the ball out, had a great angle to it. So interesting, because Tsitsipas is going as much as he can running around his backhand, because obviously it's not as strong as his forehand. He's got one of the best forehands in the world. And so he's going inside out, but he's going to the backhand of Chorich, which is his stronger shot. So interesting battle here. I'm really having a good time watching this. By the way, Rybakina said she didn't celebrate because her parents weren't there to see her because they couldn't get visas into the UK as Russian citizens. One of my favorite moments of last year was when they said in the press conference, "Hey, you didn't show any emotion," and then she just kind of kept on going. And then 2 questions later, one of them was like, "Have you talked to your parents yet?" Said no. And it's like, "What do you think they'd say?" And then she started crying. And then she said, "You wanted to see some emotion." And then the whole press room cracked up in a happy way. And that was one of my favorite moments of last year. My other favorite moment was Juan Carlos Ferrero when he came back to Miami right before the final, surprised Carlos because his father passed away, Juan Carlos Ferrero. So he had to go lay his father to rest. And Carlos didn't think that he was going to be back, but he surprised Alcaraz. And when you see them hug at the hotel or whatever, because he had no idea, he just shows up, there's like this bond that you're just like, wow, you really respect that they have a good chemistry and stuff. So those two were my favorite moments from the WTA and ATP side in terms of like heartfelt kind of stuff. Manor saying Cubby feels like Perry's praise worked and Bugash. Oh, okay. Basically, you're saying your prayers worked and Iga Swiatek is injured. Now that's not nice. I mean, I could see you hoping for her to lose a match. That's cool. No worries on that. But I don't know. I don't think we should pray for her to be injured. Definitely don't want that for her. But I know that you're obviously throwing a little humor in there. And so, by the way, sorry folks, I forgot to mention Tsitsipas did break there on the last game there. So Tsitsipas serving for the set. See, one of the reasons I was confused is because my scoreboard is not adding up to what's on the screen. So right now, yeah, there you go. It's actually 15 love Tsitsipas. Sorry, it's love 15 on the Tsitsipas serve. All right, here we go. Inside out forehand Tsitsipas, backhand from Chorich, block back, and then forehand Tsitsipas. Now backhand Chorich cross court. Tsitsipas gets there, lobs from the backhand wing, overhead from Chorich, right back to Tsitsipas, another overhead, and it lands long. So it is now Tsitsipas with feeling the pressure. And by the way, I did mention we had a break, so I'll throw that break button in. Did not hear the second song, but I will be going out later for a little cruise, and I'll throw it on the playlist. Yeah. So I'm surprised that I'm more impressed by Runa than Sinner this year. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, for sure. I think Sinner has more of like this kind of pedigree. Like, you know, it feels like he's like the first kid in the new generation. You know what I mean? Like I'd say, let's say Felix Auger-Aliassime is like he's like the very last of the next gen. Like he's like under Rublev, and then after that it's like Sinner, and then from Sinner downwards, like Sinner was the first one in our tennis consciousness. So I think that's one of the reasons we kind of have a higher expectation. He's also a couple of years older, but yeah, definitely agree. Runa has been a pleasant surprise. Really, like continuing on the phenomenal run that he had after the U.S. Open last year, the indoor hardcourt swing, capped off, of course, by that win over Djokovic, Paris Bercy. All right, backhand from Borna Coric, ripper up the line. Tsitsipas can't handle it, and now Coric has a couple of break points, trying to get that boomerang break right back and get on serve. And interesting, folks, because at tour level, again, Tsitsipas has not beaten Coric in a completed match, and there always seems to be moments in all the matches that Coric has won where he was down. I think a double break early in one of them in the first set, was down like a set and a break in another one. Tsitsipas was up 2-1 at the U.S. Open and had like a 4-1 lead in the the fourth set, and blew it, and then ended up losing in 5. So there's been he's been known to have a little bit of a mental hurdle with Coric. So, but he does save one break point there with an unreturned serve. It's now 30-40, but another breakpoint opportunity for Borna Coric, Minor's ex-boyfriend. Nice serve. Forehand return, Borna Coric. Forehand inside out, Tsitsipas, and it's a winner. Clean winner. A lot of spin on that and a great angle. And he brings it back to deuce. So now Tsitsipas 2 points away from a 1-set-to-love lead. Also, real quick, want to shout out to all of our top tippers for this tournament so far. We got Adil at $29.99. Minor's up there, second place, $16.39. Kathy as well, both of them in the chat here. We got $14.98. Peter Zaremba, $11.99. And Goldflake with an even tenner. Thank you all for your support. Speaking of support, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We really, really appreciate all of y'all for watching tennis with us. Tsitsipas. Borna Coric goes into the net there, so Tsitsipas has the advantage, and we have our first set point. And the umpire is talking to the crowd. I don't know what he's saying. Turn the volume up a little there. Kathy's saying, Runa is in your face, Sinner is quiet. We see which one is winning. Yep. Nice return to the backhand wing of Tsitsipas. Now forehand Coric. Forehand Tsitsipas, forehand Coric, backhand Tsitsipas, backhand Coric, backhand slice from Tsitsipas now, forehand Coric, cross court, Tsitsipas, forehand, cross court, now drop shot from Tsitsipas. Oh, and it was beautifully disguised because Coric actually thought he was going to drop shot it cross court. And so he started running that way, but he actually went up the line. And so as soon as he started running that way, he kind of realized like, oh, I'm screwed. And he didn't even, couldn't do it. So we have Stefanos with a 1-set-to-love lead. Gets one break late and holds on. Consolidates. 1-to-love for the Greek. Cap saying Kathy Runa's a brat, but he's the one with 2 consecutive victories over the joke in 6 months, not Sinner. Yeah, that's true. Alex, who posed the question regarding the big three, saying the experts' predictions 8 years ago about the next big three were completely wrong. They just had no idea that Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic would play for so long past the age of 30. Yeah, for sure. The only thing that I think that you can kind of gauge maybe is like if a player wins a Grand Slam, that puts them in a category of, we know that they're capable to actually do it. They've done it. They have their name written on the trophy. Now, from then on, how many they can win, like they might be like Juan Martín del Potro and win one and then just have crazy injuries over their career. Or might be like Roddick, who is just always on the cusp, was always like a top player, but just couldn't beat this one guy ever, over and over. So and then there's other players that win, a handful. You got your Wawrinkas and your Andy Murrays, who've got what, three? Murray have 3 or 4? Do they each have 3, or does one? Either Murray, in my head, it's either they both have 3, or Wawrinka has 3 and Murray has 4. I'm not remembering it in this moment off the top of my head. But anyways, so like, after Wawrinka wins 1, wins 2, then you can be like, oh, I could actually have him in the mix for another tournament and da-da-da-da-da, right? So I think that's the only real gauge that we can have. Until players win majors, it's kind of like a crapshoot because you just don't know. Or they could be like, and I'm not trying to dump on this person, Emma Raducanu, but could be like someone who just comes out of nowhere, wins one, and may have a tough time getting back to that level again. So it's really hard to predict, in every sport. All the scouts can never know. There's always drafts in these leagues. Michael Jordan was drafted 3rd, and these guys always sound so sure when they're saying, "Oh, I'm a scout and I know what's going on." And the reality of the situation is none of us really know what's going to happen in life. We just have to kind of watch and see. But it's always fun to kind of, it's something you're passionate about, to kind of see and guess. So we got Max. I hope the newcomers in ATP can handle the 5 sets at Roland Garros. Carlos did it at the US Open. Yeah, and did he ever with those 3 5-setters in a row? But yeah, I think it's experience too, right? When you're 19, the first couple majors, or 18 or something, it's going to be a physical grind. Like you're going to feel it. But these guys now, they're in their 3rd, 4th year on the tour. I think, they're in their double digits of majors played. Now they should be able to understand, heading into it, what they need to do nutrition-wise, rest-wise, all that stuff. And attempt a cross-court backhand from Coric, but that goes just wide. Oh, no, it actually hit the line. Did it hit the line? It did hit the line. All right, so Coric is serving here to start the 2nd set. Ooh, serve is good out wide, and return, it looked like it was like a lob that was about to land in, but just a hair along. So 30 love for Coric on his serve. Good start to the 2nd set. Just one little lapse in that last set. And Coric got broken once, and that was it. He did have a couple breaks. Funny enough, Tsitsipas has only had 1 break in the match, and he converted on it. Coric actually had 2 breaks and wasn't able to. All right, Tsitsipas, nice return. Forehand from Coric. Forehand Tsitsipas. And, lands off the line and then goes straight up off the racket. And it actually almost went over the net, but it did not. It went straight upwards and landed in the alley on Coric's side on the huge Shankaroo. Cubby. Let's move it along here. Move it on. Bravo, Coric, says Volkan maybe. The amount he has improved in a year, Kathy, is insane. I think that's about Arona. Yes, his tennis is now backing up his mouth. We have a saying in the U.S., don't write a check with your mouth that your ass can't cash. Yep, that's true. If you're going to talk it, you got to walk it. Runa lost in quarter Q1 at Rome 12 months ago. Do you mean round 1? And today he's in the semis and favorite to beat Rude. It's exceptional. Yeah, I think that's what you meant, round 1. Yes, Cap, hard work, dedication pays dividends. Yeah, the guy's a monster. If you watch the exercising he does, all these guys do it, but it's just like you watch it. Because I used to be a hockey player and I used to do that stuff. Now I think and watch these guys, I'm like, oh, I remember when I had to put my body into you know, sometimes when you feel so much pain that it like feels good, you know, when you're doing like squats or whatever. It's very interesting. But yeah, these guys are animals, and these ladies, of course, they're working just as hard and doing the same things. Chorich with a nice serve, and the return goes high over Chorich's head and long. So Chorich with the game point, 40-30 here. Yay, let's go. Tsitsipas says SWL. Sean from England says, I wonder what Runa's win-loss record is. The last 7 or 8 months must be up there. You know what? Let me help you out here, brother. I'll see if I can find and the not easy hold, but the hold there from game to 30 there from Chorich on return serve. So it is a 1-love. And let me see if I can find. Gosh, so all right, here we go. So Holger Rune. I'm just going to kind of roughly go through. Okay, so he went crazy after the U.S. Open. So after the U.S. Open, he went to Metz. After he went to Metz, he went to Sofia, and I think he went to the finals and lost to Huesler. So he played 1, 2, 3, 4. So he went 4 wins, 1 loss. Then he won the next tournament in Stockholm, beating Tsitsipas in the final. That's 5 in a row after that. So that's 9-1. Then he went to a final in Basel. That was supposed to be Roger's last tournament. He actually Felix beat him in the final. So he won another 4 and lost 1. So what's that? 10-14-2 in record. And then he went on to win Paris. So another 6. So 20 wins and 2 losses. Lost in Adelaide, 20-3, and then 23-4, 24, 25, 26, 27 wins and 5, 26-6, 29-7, 30-8, 32-9, 36-10. Yeah, so 36-10, and then since then another 5-9. So 36-9 is what? 45-11. So he's gone 45-11 in the last 7 to 8 months. So he has been absolutely on fire. One of the hottest players. I've mentioned this before. He had as hot of an end to the year from the U.S. Open onwards as Carlos Alcaraz did from the beginning of the year until Madrid, and then he did have his pretty big lull and then won U.S. Open. But very reminiscent, and they're only a week apart, 6 days apart in age. So Alcaraz is May 5th, and Rune is April 30th of the same year. All right, 15-all. Tsitsipas serve, forehand return, and Tsitsipas +1, short angled, got a ripper on it, but it went just wide, and it's been overturned. Chorich. Yeah, Chorich conceded the point. He took a look at it as it was on his side and gave it up. So Tsitsipas 30-15. That was a wonderful strike, by the way, from Tsitsipas. Okay. We got Harvey in the house. Harvey Specter from the show Suits. Welcome, Harvey. Big fan over here saying, go Steph. Steph might kill me due to stress. Before old age does. Well before old age does. Got you. There you go. Alex the Cap, are there any straight parades I can attend? Huh? What's going on? I missed some of that there. Kathy, the very moment Emma won the U.S. Open, she became instantaneously more interested in money than tennis. And then Kathy saying it didn't come from her, Cap. It came from her team. Okay. Tsitsipas holds a 1-all here in the second set. Winner will face Daniil Medvedev. And then the winner of that will face the winner of Holger Rune and Casper Ruud. They will play each other in 2 days' time. Both of those matches will be in 2 days' time, I believe. Tomorrow we will have, is it the women's semis? Let me just double check that for y'all. Tomorrow is Friday. We have women's quarters. Wait, let me just... Where is my draw? I normally have a draw open. I forgot to open it up. Yeah, so we have both women's semis are tomorrow. We have Rybakina Ostapenko, and then we have Kudermetova Kalinina. So we have 2 women's semis tomorrow. We have 2 men's semis on Saturday, and then I wonder, is that, and they're going to do both on Sunday? Now I'm really curious as to what how they're doing the schedule here. All right, 1-1 here. Stefanos TSITSIPAS and Borna Coric. Tsitsipas is up a set, and we're on serve here in the second set. Coric is serving at love 15. About 35 people in here. How many likes we got? Forgot to ask y'all for likes for it's been a minute here. 17 likes. Thank you guys all for your support. Please do give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We appreciate all the support. And then I see Gary. I think I saw Gary's name somewhere in here. And here he is, Gary Saint Laurent, GSL Covey, GTL guys and gals. For some reason, these afternoon matches at my time have not been very convenient for me this week. My apologies. Just saying hello, giving you a like, and hanging in for a bit. Welcome, Gary, aka Batman. Always great to have you in the house, Gary. Sorry about the match with Novak. I know you're a big fan, but I still think that he got some good match play, and hopefully the little niggles with the 10 days or 12 days off he'll be ready to go. So I'm really excited for a Roland Garros that is going to be the most wide open potentially that we've seen in a generation. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff going on. Everyone cares about money, Harvey, unless you are Jess Pagula. Ems, Ghosty's gonna love that. Hey Gary, says Ems. Coric 30-15 here. Kathy saying all top 10 players are multi-millionaires, so they've already gone past that. Yeah, pretty much. JPEG still hasn't donated $1 million to my I don't want to work cause. Yeah, I know, same here. Kathy, best thing I've heard you say about Emma to date. You nailed it. Don't blame her for a moment. Other than that, I think she should have considered sticking with the guy who helped her win New York. I'm of the same mind in that regard. I just feel like, why would you? Again, I don't know the ins and outs. My inkling is that people who are regularly on the tour more, because she's not a regular tour player at the time that she won the U.S. Open. And so I just think that there was people in her ear who are like, oh, we're here already. Like, we know the people who you should be like asking. And I wonder if someone, maybe your agent or something like that, got in there and said that, oh, maybe we should find someone who's like you're high profile now. Maybe we'll find someone high profile. I think that's a bummer. But anyways, a lot of crime fighting again this week, and not just at night. Kathy, Gary, I'm going to send you a link in Discord message. Covey, there's an interview with her U.S. Open coach. I'll send you the link. Okay. You know what? I think I read, I think there was an article I read recently where he kind of he spoke out for the first time, and basically he just said, didn't he say something about someone from her team basically called and said, this is, we're going with someone. I read it. It was like a few days ago. I kind of perused through it, but I'll take a look at that. Thank you. Harvey is saying Rafa retired. Nah, he's retired. He's pulling out of the French Open and taking some time off to let his body heal, but he's not officially retiring. No. Hey Gary, says Max. Alex, any thoughts on Tsitsipas looking up to David Ferrer in his Tennis Channel interview? David was good, but finished slamless. Did not know about that. But I will say, looking up to a guy like David Ferrer, though he hadn't won, he was a small guy. He really, really had to fight to be a top player, like a top 10 player. And the poor guy, he did everything. You know what I mean? There's some people you're like, I wonder if they did everything they could. We might think about that about Kyrgios when he retires, for example. But with Ferrer, I feel like he has no regrets. Tsitsipas with a running forehand up the line, and he holds. No, oh my gosh, my bad. He breaks there, folks. Having so many conversations, I'm lacking my focus on the play-by-play. So anyway, just to end the thought on David Ferrer, though I see your point. You know, it's like, okay, this guy's slamless, and his one of his idols is slamless. But I really think that Ferrer was one of those players who got every ounce out of his career. So I have mad respect for that guy. I think it's definitely appropriate, or I think it's cool that he looks up to a guy who's not like the big name guy of the era. JPEG is half Korean. I've lived in Korea for 5 years. Give me $1 million, please, says Cap. Okay, Zako's Tennis Zone. Welcome, Zako. Hey, guys. Hey, Zako. Welcome, buddy. GSL Covey just watched an episode of 3, a tennis show with Gil Gross. He is convinced something is up with Novak physically, and he doesn't want to create more drama. About it. He is clearly not 100%. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. There's one thing I did like. They had an interview in the press conference after, and they said, "Hey, Novak, do you feel ready for Roland Garros?" And he just took a deep breath, and he had this smirk, and he says, "Yes, I am." And it was like a confident "Yes, I am." You know, so I mean, I'm hoping for the best. As you guys know, I'm a massive fan of all the big three, and I always want to see all the best players in the same tournament because I want to see all these players elevate the matches. The level and caliber of tennis that we get to watch. So thank you for that info. And I will check out Gil. Gil is one of my favorites. Actually, I bother him once in a while on DM just to like, oh, hey, I'm thinking, because actually before I got into it with GTL, nice forehand, +1 cross court Tsitsipas, a winner, 15 love. Before I got into GTL, actually, I actually hit up Gil Gross. I was like, hey, I'm curious about getting into like tennis media, and how do I do it? You seem like such a polished person for your age, and and so I have hounded him for some advice, and he's always been super helpful. I wouldn't say I know him or anything, but I've always had like crazy respect for that guy and his tennis analysis. All right. Oh, Borna George makes his way to the net, had a chance for a pretty routine backhand volley, but didn't make it over the net, unfortunately. It's 30 love Tsitsipas. So he's up a set and a break. Folks, this could be a shorter match than I was thinking, LOL, from Zako. And he said her manager said they were going in different direction. Andrew Richardson knew she wasn't in tour shape, and that was his plan to start at the beginning to get her fit. And look what's happening now. She hasn't been able to get fit. She hasn't been able to stand the rigors of the tour. And I mean, how can you expect? I mean, she's pretty thin, to expect a teenager to be able to, like, these women that she's playing against have been in the gym for 10, 12 years. So beautiful forehand there on the +1 from Tsitsipas, setting up triple game point for T Love. George is looking a little flat here, folks, in my estimation. Ferrer doesn't have Tsitsipas's physique and natural athleticism. Yeah, I'd say it's the opposite. The team said, show me the money. Let's see here. I wonder, will Gil Gross and Amy Lundy do a new show when the big three have retired? Huh, yeah, I wonder. You know that Vunch and another person are doing an Iga Carlos podcast. They just started. I think they've done one. I think I heard when I was doing a cruise, when I was doing a DoorDash cruise, I was listening to the very first episode. Pretty interesting. Basically, they're just kind of chronicling the two players who they kind of think are like generational talents that they kind of feel comfortable in labeling based on their current age and track records. So yeah, lots of tennis content coming up. Second serve coming up here, 40-15 game point. Serve is good. Forehand return into the net, and it's 3-1 for Stefanos. George doesn't look, he just doesn't have a bounce in his step. He doesn't look, and And the thing is, he is a pretty like pensive sort of player. Like, you know, he doesn't like, even when he bounces the ball, he does it like almost in like a meditative style, like a very slow and methodical. So he's not a very ebullient type of player, but you do like to see, because, you know, sometimes he'll jump around on his toes in between points and stuff. You're not really seeing that right now. Anyways, he's down a break and a set is Coric, and he's about to serve here. Night match. Winner will face Medvedev in the semifinals. First serve is long. Harvey Specter saying Tsitsipas backhand is very similar to Federer's, just that it's weak. I don't know. I feel like it's lacking a fluidity, and I don't think it's as effective. I definitely don't think it's effective. And the backhand slice is 100% not as effective. Zacco's tennis zone. Carlos is overrated. There are holes in his game. Yeah, I mean, he just turned 20 a couple weeks ago, so they're going to keep working on it. Marozsan, you know, he really exploited him with the drop shot. One thing I will say is the drop shots that Marozsan was hitting were perfect, and I'm not even just saying that. I literally, like, they were beautiful. Like, they were just over Carlos, one of the fastest guys on tour. Like, at least 3 or 4 of them, I was like, okay, he's going to get to that. But they were so perfect that he actually couldn't, and he tried as hard as he could. His backhand is nothing like Fed's. You insult Roger. I mean, I was kind of thinking that. I didn't want to say it like that, but I agree with you there, Kathy. Cap, the new three show will be about Alcaraz, Medvedev, Runer, or Sinner. Runer or Sinner. Runa or Sinner. What? I'm going to totally mess that up. All right. Coric makes way to the net, puts it away, and he's got a 40-love lead. Boring. They should quit when ahead and just something to show there. Okay, M's, when they do all retire, we'll have to have a 5-hour debriefing on here, go through all the memorable moments. Yeah, I agree. That would be sweet. Alex BG1, Covey, I think a good start is to interview a lot of low-key men's, women's player, someone just outside the top 100. Most of them are very friendly and approachable. Oh, in terms of getting into... Yeah, that's actually, you know, I didn't really think of that. And I don't have access to too much pro tennis in my vicinity. There's no big tournament in Seattle that I'm aware of, which is a 2-hour drive from here. Nothing really in Vancouver. There is a kind of, I don't know if it's a pro-am or what. It's the Odlum Brown. And I did watch Eugenie was there last year. It was in Vancouver. I also watched Vasek Pospisil a few matches a few years ago. One of my friends is a friend of his, so I just went with him for like 3 straight days, and but that's pretty much it. So I've got to find, yeah, definitely it would be good. It would be fun to just go to Europe with like a microphone, and, you know, for like 2-3 months and just catch as many tournaments as you can in different countries. All right, serve is good. Forehand return. Now we got a backhand from Coric cross court. Inside out forehand Tsitsipas, and Coric he kind of got wrong-footed there, Coric, and so then he just did a one-handed kind of backhand as he wasn't in good position, and that sails long. So now Coric from 40 love is now under a tiny bit of pressure, but not an avalanche or anything. It's 40-30, still has a game point. Zacco saying Roger deserves special points for being able to win 20 slams with a single-handed backhand. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the few big differences in the big three. I mean, obviously you got Rafa being the lefty versus the 2 righties, and then you got the two-handed versus the one-handed. So yeah, there is something to say that it's impressive, you know. Impressive for a guy with a one-handed backhand to beat a guy with a forehand. Like Martin Del Potro, for example. Beautiful touch on the forehand volley cross-court drop shot as he made his way to the net, and it's a hold for Coric. He's now down 2-3. Tsitsipas will serve 25 minutes into the second set. And Sampras backhand was, whoa, I don't know about that, Mr. Tennis Zone. Sampras backhand was ish. I don't know. I definitely don't agree with that. It was one of my favorite shots. Actually, if you ask me, one of my favorite shots. I know it's not like the most beautiful, but it's just I don't know. I just really liked how efficient Sampras was on the court. Using Fed name is blasphemy in this religion. Religion. Fed's backhand is totally superior to Tsitsipas. Yeah, I would even go as speaking of BG Bulgaria. I would even go as far as say that Dimitrov's backhand and backhand slice are better than Tsitsipas, but I don't think that he's a better player than Tsitsipas. It's nowhere near Fed's. Yeah. Zako is saying, if you have no talk, most of you have no talk because I know you all can't hit a decent back. How do you know? You haven't seen us. My backhand is my stronger side. I've been hitting backhands before I could hit forehands. I use two-handed backhand, however. The only similarity is that they hit with one hand. Other than that, it's light years different. Stop coming at me all right, guys, let's keep it fun. As you can tell, I'm having a good time with this. I hope everyone else is here. Let's not take anything too personal, you guys. It's just tennis. It's a ball bouncing on a court and some guys hitting it. So Tsitsipas now kicking off game number 6. Second serve is good. Backhand return. Now backhand Tsitsipas, backhand Coric up the line. Tsitsipas, gets a forehand on it, forces Coric to hit another shot, which he does. Overhead put away. Good effort, though, from Tsitsipas on the defense there. Coric with a 15-love lead. Fed is the natural striker of the ball. Everything looked easy, effortless, and beautiful. The best tennis player in the world is for sure Fed match highlights. Yeah, the only guy I would say is closest to him that I can see in smoothness, and it's still not quite as smooth, is Sebastian Korda. I really like watching him play. There'll never be another Three Kings, that is for sure. Yeah, that's another thing. We could also just not have another big three, Now, here's the thing, when a record like 14 Grand Slams gets broken, turns into 20, 20 becomes 22, 22 becomes something else. What I think is that I think that records get broken. I don't think Rafa's record of 14 single Grand Slams at one tournament is going to be beat personally. But other than that, I don't think it's out of the range of thought that someone, say, in my lifetime will overtake, Novak or Rafa, whoever. Most likely it's going to be Novak who ends up with the most. And it might not be it might not be a guy like Alcaraz or Sinner or Runa. It could be someone who's 10 years old right now. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that, sports is a thing that naturally pushes its limits and boundaries. Everything about Fed was silky smooth. Everything. Yeah, I agree with you there. Watching Roger play tennis was like watching a Baryshnikov ballet. Yeah, he's an artist. He's an artist. When people ask me, what do I think about the three, and I compare them, I say one of them is an artist, one of them is a raging bull, and one of them is a technical master. Like Novak has technically mastered. His footwork is beautiful. He can stretch in ways that no one can. He navigates the court with this crazy ability. Like sometimes it looks like he's got 4 legs instead of 2. You know what I mean? And then you got the raging bull. You got the guy who's pure aggression, pure I'm giving everything. And you could see the sweat dripping off his nose. And then you got the artist, the guy who's creating. He's making curves and he's shaping the ball. And so they all bring like this different beauty to the game. Tsitsipas, game point 40-30, looking to stay ahead by a break and potentially get close to sniffing the finish line here. Backhand return after a good serve. Inside out forehand Tsitsipas. Backhand Coric into the middle of the net. Coric throws his racket onto the ground. It bounces directly upwards and he catches it. It looks actually kind of smooth, like he did it on purpose. Maybe he did. But the end result is frustration. And 30 minutes into the second set, Stefanos Tsitsipas is now 2 games away from a berth into the semifinals. Alex saying Dimitrov has beaten Tsitsipas, but the Greek finds the lines more often or next to the lines. I don't think we necessarily need another big three. We just need to enjoy the moment, y'all. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, here's Borna. Serve is good. Runs around the backhand, does Tsitsipas, and then second forehand from Tsitsipas into the net. 15-love for Coric. Cheers to the big three generation. Yeah, cheers to the big three. I'm grateful for them for elevating tennis so that we can watch these guys like Rune and Sinner come up and just be such beautiful strikers and have their own personalities as well. And let's not forget, we also have on the women's side, we've got these power hitting women. We've got these clever players. We've got, like Bianca Andreescu uses different sort of shots, forehand slice, backhand slice, Tatiana Maria. And then you got Ons Jabeur with the really beautiful hands, things like that. So tennis is in good shape. Whether we have a big three, a big whatever, we have some really, really good players to watch. Seems like Tsitsipas is about to finally have an easy win over Coric. It does look that way. And don't forget, your boy said Tsitsipas is going to overcome today. Actually, Suwon Lim had a 6. Suwon, did you have 6-3, 6-4 or 6-4, 6-3? Either way, I think Suwon Lim has had the closest that I could tell in terms of prediction, or that is still possible. Nice serve out wide. Tsitsipas can't get it over the high part of the net. 30-15. There won't be another big three, but there will be great tennis, and that's what tennis nerds want. Beautifully said, Ems. Seems like Tsitsipas is about to... hit that one already. We keep forgetting Agassi, though. He's won all 7. Yeah, what do you mean all 7? Yeah, all 4. Okay. Because, Kathy's like, LMAO, all 7 what? All 4. I think 7 times. He's won 8, I believe. Okay, one thing I'm sure of is he's won all of them twice. Yeah, I think he's actually... I think he's won... I'm going to look that up because that's one of the ones that I'm fairly certain of. I remember being very impressed that he did that. And I think he did it in the minimum amount of that you can do it in. So let's see. Agassi. Yeah, I know. Andre Agassi. So, no, I was wrong. He has won all of them once at least. And he won the Australian Open 4 times. He won the French Open once, Wimbledon once, and the US Open twice. So he has won 8, but it was 6 on hard court, 1 on clay, and 1 on grass. So definitely hard courts was his jam. Not surprising, him being an American from Las Vegas, like our very own Max. And another backhand from Coric into the net, and then in frustration, he waves his racket sort of in disgust. And it is now 30-40. Tsitsipas has a breakpoint opportunity, and I dare say if he wins this point, the match should be a foregone conclusion. Tsitsipas 2 for 2 so far on breakpoints. Coric has been 0 for 2. I forgot to go over the outfit of Coric. We'll have to do that before the match is over. Cubs. And the +1 from Coric is a beautiful drop shot, saving a breakpoint. Nicely done. All 3 in different services. Yes, that is correct. Kathy saying, my first match I ever watched was Billie Jean King beat that idiot Bobby Riggs in 73, I believe. Was huge. I was hooked after that. There's a movie, Battle of the Sexes. Yeah, I think it's with Steve Carell. I haven't watched it. I need to watch that. It's with Steve Carell. Coric puts that away, and we are at advantage for Borna Coric. It's with Steve Carell and what's her name? I really like that actress. She's Emma something. Emma. Gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Anyways, she's cute. Like, I think she's a redhead. But yeah, I got to check out that movie. I also have to check out King Richard. I still haven't done that yet. It's on my list. All right, we got a backhand cross court from Tsitsipas. Backhand chip from Coric lands on the baseline. And then forehand Tsitsipas. And then the backhand from Coric into the net. Back to deuce. Yeah, you were right, Kathy. He won the French Open once. Cap letting us know when they got into it. The 2002 U.S. Open Mauresmo Capriati quarterfinal got me interested in tennis. I became a Mauresmo fan in minutes. Yeah, she could crunch the ball, couldn't she? She had very broad shoulders. She had this a real strength in her upper body. Very formidable player. And yeah, major winner, I believe. She won the French Open. I'm sure she won more than one, I believe. And I think she's also, at least last year, she was the tournament director at Roland Garros. Coric with a nice serve and gets a +1, which forces a overhead, and he puts that overhead away, running Tsitsipas from one end of the court to the next. Coric, another game point. Kathy, that same time frame that Connors challenged Laver and Newcomb in Vegas and beat them both for $500,000 each. That's what hooked me. Man, $500,000 to win at that time, imagine too. Emma Stone, thank you. I knew it was Emma. Yes, Covey, you need to watch it. It's good. All right, Coric with a nice +1, and then Tsitsipas goes forehand, back up the middle, and then Coric goes backhand up the line where Tsitsipas just was, gets wrong-footed. Coric hold, good hold there from Borna Coric.
Borna. Coric. Borna. Coric. Borna.
Sean saying players back in the day didn't used to play the Aussie Open very much, so they would have won a few more majors. Yeah, I think I remember hearing an interview. Johnny Mack was saying, yeah, we, didn't used to go all the time, and they also had different surface. I mean, I think a few of the majors have changed surfaces other than Wimbledon, I believe, or maybe all of them have. Maybe Gary, you might be able to help us out there if you're still around, or Kathy. M saying I need to watch that too, Battle of the Sexes. Emma Stone is what Lindsay Lohan could have been if she didn't struggle with her personal issues. Yeah, Emma Stone just seems like, and I don't know her, but she just seems like happy and just is enjoying life, for sure. Rafa and Novak have done it twice. I believe you're talking about the career slam, meaning winning all 4 majors at least twice. Twice. Yep. Rafa entered that conversation when he won in Australia 2 years ago, and Novak entered that when he won his second Roland Garros. Mauresmo won AO and Wimbledon 06 against Enin in both finals. Enin, my favorite player. They should make a comedy movie about the big three, Will Ferrell style, how they're just wiping the court with everyone else. That would actually be so funny. All right, Tsitsipas, 4-3 up a break. And very close to a rendezvous with the top Russian in the world currently, who goes by the name of Daniil Medvedev. All right, +1. Nice one forehand. And then a lob from Coric sets up a missed overhead from Tsitsipas. He hit it wide, actually. He was actually jumped backwards. Okay, they're showing Tsitsipas's dad now. But no, I don't you asked me, I think Manor asked me who is sitting with them, or someone asked me. I do not recognize whoever was sitting beside him, other than regular family that I've seen before. All right. Love 15. First serve is Alette. Harvey Specter. Steph is good on clay. Yeah, he is. He's made it to 4. He's been in 4 clay court tournaments this year, and this is his 4th quarterfinal. Although I think he is expecting some better results than he's had in the end, because he was a 2-time defending champion Monte Carlo. He lost in the quarters, and then in Madrid he also lost, I think. He lost in Barcelona in the final to Alcaraz, and then in Madrid somewhere around the quarters. Anyways, first serve is long, 15 all. Here comes the second serve. All right, so Kathy is letting us know Australian Open was grass, as was the okay. And then when US Open was at Forest Park, it was grass. AO was definitely grass. So US and Australian Open have changed. Wimbledon, I don't think has, and Australian, I'm not sure. Oh no, you're sorry. Australia was definitely good. So what's that? Aussie, US. That leaves French and Wimbledon. So French has always been clay, and Wimbledon always grass potentially. Emma Stone has her ish together. Very versatile actress. She cares about her craft. Yeah, for sure. I like her a lot. Hey, Cubby Snail here. Welcome, Shashi Kumar, aka Snail. Hi, Snail. Hey, Kathy. Harvey saying to Kathy, I guess he has some record that no one has broken yet, but I keep forgetting which one. Tsitsipas with a 40-15 lead here. Second serve on the way. Hasn't been too many fireworks in this match. Coric with a return up the line, and Tsitsipas tries to do the same, but goes wide. So, Tsitsipas, another game point here. 40-30. Normally, Mark Philippoussis hangs around with Tsitsipas's dad. No, you're correct on that, but the person who was sitting beside him wasn't Mark Philippoussis. I've actually been lucky enough to watch Mark Philippoussis play live, and it was a night match in Phoenix, and the tournament, it was the latest match and he was playing some like 100-something ranked like English player, and I forgot his name, and it's a double fault from Tsitsipas, and we got a deuce. And so anyways, I was sitting in the upper deck wherever my section was, and then it was like really late, and the umpire announced everyone can come down to the nearest seat. So I was literally like second row, and I was watching Mark Philippoussis serve at 140 miles an hour from the sideline. It was absolutely crazy. And I fell in love with tennis way before that, but that was like, so I went from never having watched pro tennis live to like going to like 5 straight days, because I was in university in Phoenix at Arizona State University, and they had a tournament. So I was like, I gotta watch Sampras, and I watched Steffi Graf, and I watched Agassi, and I watched Davenport, Kornikova. And man, like the first 3 or 4 days, it was all in the upper deck. And then that, like the end of the third or fourth day, they're like, come down. And when I came down and watched that Philippoussis match, man, I had never been so like I was like, man, I've seen this sport so much. I watch it on TV all the time. I've been here for the last 3 days watching it from up there. But to watch it from here, it was like watching something different. To see the speed at these guys reacting to these balls, it was just like mind-boggling. It was so crazy. It was just, it's like my head couldn't move fast enough sometimes. Okay, advantage Tsitsipas, but he goes long on his +1, and it's back to deuce. They called him the Scud, Philippoussis. Yeah, the Scud missile. He still serves 130 miles per hour. So funny because players are mic'd. Johnny Mack is hysterical. He still serves at 130. He doesn't look that old, but you feel like that does wear on the body for someone who's not a pro tennis player. But I'm sure he still obviously plays if he can. And Borna Coric, a ripper of a ground stroke up the line, and he now has a break point opportunity. for just the third time in the match. He had, right after he got broken in the first set, he actually had a chance when it was a 15-40 on the Tsitsipas serve. And those two that he squandered away, those are the only break points he's had in the match. So, can we get back to level? Let's go. Remember, Coric has been somewhat of a mental hurdle for Tsitsipas in his career. Tsitsipas serve is good. Forehand return is long from Coric. And Tsitsipas saves a third out of 3 breakpoint opportunities. Shashi, aka Snahill. I keep reading Shashi, but I'll say Snahill. So we're getting Rude Runa again. I would be surprised if there is no drama in the match. You know what? I don't think there will be. I feel like they're kind of put it past each other. I'm not expecting any. I love it when it happens. If it's in like if it's in the spirit of competition, not in the spirit of malice or, anger. I mean, what am I saying? I'm trying to like pick how I want the beef to be, but you know what I'm saying, right? You want it to be respectful, fun, like Medvedev Tsitsipas type of fun, which also could be a matchup. So we could have a lot of fireworks. Maybe you're right, Snahill. Maybe it will be a semifinal of fireworks. All right. Another breakpoint opportunity here for Borna Coric. And he's going to take a look at a second serve. So, some interesting moments here. Serve is good. Forehand return up the line is good. Forehand cross-court Tsitsipas. And forehand Coric. Forehand Tsitsipas. Forehand Coric. Backhand cross-court Tsitsipas. Backhand cross-court Coric. Tsitsipas shanks it. Goes straight upwards off the side of the racket, and a big roar from Tsitsipas. The crowd's also awake all of a sudden. And it is now 4-4 on serve here in set number 2.
Borna. Coric. Borna. Coric. Borna. Coric.
All right. Oh. One sec. There's a discussion. I'm just trying to listen here between the umpire and Stefanos. So Stefanos, there was very, very clear audio. He's saying, when I'm trying to serve, I could hear him say, make this sound like, before I'm about to serve. It's very disrespectful. So Tsitsipas apparently is not happy with Coric. So here we go. Mind games, maybe. Who knows? Very interesting, though. Kind of out of nowhere. So back on serve here. Borna Coric breaks back. And, oh my God, he broke, says Capricorn. Yep. No drama this time. They've moved on. Runa is not the same person, and Rude isn't the type to hold a grudge. Yeah, Rude, even they asked him about it after his last match when they were saying, oh, you facing him next, and how's the relationship? He's like, it's not that bad. He's like, we're not sending Christmas cards to each other, but he's like, I expect it to be, better than last time or whatever, right? So, Snahill, oh my God, I forgot it will be Steph versus Medvedev. That will be fire. I wonder what Medi will say to the umpire this time. And Alex saying, game on. Coric. 15 love for Borna. A little bit of confusion over whether that was in or out, but quickly overturned, or upheld, I should say, by the umpire. Ooh. There's no way from the umpire's chair he could tell on that because it was a millimeter in. But that's according to Hawkeye. But Med and Steph don't like each other. Yep, that's a different one. That one there could be fire. I would definitely expect something there if it ends up going that way. But remember, Tsitsipas still has to get through this match. He's in a pretty good position, but that good position has dwindled for sure. Tsitsipas wants another rule change. Rules, says Sean. Drama now with Steph. The Med-Steph Zverev trio dislike one another tremendously. Yeah, they do. Well, I dislike two of the three. All right, Coric with a nice +1 cross court makes his way to the net. Tsitsipas floater and a beautiful little drop volley from Coric gets the point 30-15. Okay. I'm going to take a look at some of these in-depth stats here. Okay, first serve is into the net at 30-15 on the short serve. Second serve is good. Backhand return from very far off the court. Makes his way back in. Forehand, Tsitsipas forehand. Coric goes into the net on the routine forehand there. So 30-all. Got a couple aces for Tsitsipas. One for Coric. Tsitsipas, 4 double faults to 1 for Coric. 20 winners, Tsitsipas to 18. Unforced 8-7. So pretty tidy from both players. All right. First serve is long. Oh, apparently the ball is dead, Coric is saying. And the call is confirmed to be out by the umpire. Second serve coming up at 30-all. Both players solid at the net. 8 for 9 for Tsitsipas, 89%, 81%, 17 for 22 for Coric. So Coric has been coming up quite a bit. All right, we got a nice rally. Whenever I say that, it ends the rally because Borna Coric hit a backhand into the net, and now Tsitsipas has a chance to break right back. And if he does, he'll have a chance to serve out this match. So, Oh, Menor's back in the heezy. Cap saying Steph is half Russian, Zverev is Russian, but German, and Med is Russian. Yeah, it's actually interesting. Half Russian, German, and then Russian. Coric grunts are awful. He's hot, though. LOL, Menors, I love you. Harvey Specter asking, Covey, are you South Asian? My parents are from India. Yeah, North Indian. And Tsitsipas gets the break. Coric tries to come in on the serve and volley, but Tsitsipas hits the return so well that Coric was not able to get his racket on that. It hits. He did. He wasn't able to get the strings on it. He got the end of his racket on it, and it goes haywire. So Stefanos TSITSIPAS breaks and now will have a chance to serve for the match. Cap reminding us, Coric is a grinder. Don't forget. Yep, he's that baseline guy who can play. He's got good footwork and stamina. He can definitely extend points. So you can forgive the awful grunts. It says Kathy. What, Cap? It's an imposter troll. I think I missed something there. Alex BG saying my favorite is Raducanu, half Chinese, half Romanian, born in Canada, but representing Great Britain. Yeah, for sure. Also, what about Cam Norrie? It's like he was like born in New Zealand or something, and then he was like raised in England, and then he went to college and played tennis in Texas in the US, and then he lived somewhere else, somewhere in the middle there too. Yeah. So some of these players have pretty cool backgrounds. No, Harvey, he's Indian. Well, actually, Kathy, I guess some people technically call people Indian, like from India, South Asian. So like here, for example, when they say, oh, we're part of the South Asian community, like on the news, when they say that, they mean kind of that includes India as well. So, but yeah, you know what's interesting? In different continents, they don't like not depending on where you're from. Like if you were born in South America, they only say they're like they consider North America and South America one continent. So when you say how many continents are there, they actually say like they say one when it comes to that. So they have a different number than us. So that's actually interesting. If you I learned that because my Chilean friend, he's like, no, Cubby, there's 5 continents. There's America and there's Europe and there's Australia and Asia or whatever and Africa. And I was like, no, but we were taught that there's North America, South America. He's like, no, not for us, not Chilean. Okay, backhander from Borna Coric, and it's a winner. So Tsitsipas now up 30-15. He's 2 points away from a date with the Daniil. See what I did there? Folks, hit the like button, please, everyone. Let's get those likes up. We got, what do we have? We only got 19. Folks, this is definitely one of the lower like counts on a stream for me lately. I kind of been neglecting to ask for the likes, but please do give us a like, give us a subscribe if you're new. Lots of stuff going on with the Game to Love Tennis podcast, especially with Roland Garros coming up. Now we have our first match point. Stefanos TSITSIPAS.
Match point.
40-15 double match point. Serve is good, and the forehand return from Borna Coric is long, and it's a pretty routine 6-3, 6-4 victory for Stefanos TSITSIPAS. I think Suwon Lim had either 6-2, 6-3, 6-4 or 6-4, 6-3. Nice handshake between the two. Stefanos TSITSIPAS pats Coric on the belly, saying good game, clapping to the crowd. Big smile on the tall Greek's face, 6'4". Good effort there from Stefanos TSITSIPAS. He did face a little bit of pressure, was broken once, but he got 3 breaks of his own. And now we have a really nice little foursome here in the final 4. We've got Borna Coric. Covey, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. You're about to start making the 4, and you got the first one wrong. We got Daniil Medvedev versus Tsitsipas, and the last time they faced each other, they had some kind of fireworks. Also, Tsitsipas mentioned after losing to Rublev, I believe it was in the ATP Tour Finals last year, saying, "I can't believe I lost to a guy who doesn't have any weapons." And Daniil Medvedev, made some comments after. That kind of went viral and, saying, oh, a player said something about that. I hope you beat that player a lot. So anyways, there's going to be some fireworks. That's going to be Medvedev versus Tsitsipas. And then we're also going to have another matchup that has had some fireworks in the past, Runa versus Rude. So let's see how that goes down in the end. But stay tuned definitely for the Game to Love channel. We will be having all of the big matches. I'm going to hit the Tsitsipas button, then we'll do a quick wrap up and call it a day. So yeah, going back real quick to the chat here. We're talking about the continent. So it says there are 7. That's what I learned. There's North America, South America, Africa, Australia, Europe, Asia, Antarctica. Exactly. That's what I told my buddy David. And David didn't count. What did he? I think he counted Asia and Europe. No, that wasn't right. Australia. Yeah, maybe it was just he counted. Maybe he said it was 6, and he said North America, South America. He just said America. Can Steph do it? He did it, says Capricorn. No, chat over, says Alex. Yeah, unfortunately, folks, the chat is over when the match is done. Would like to stay around, but Yeah, I got to get some exercise here. Steph Medvedev semifinal. Manor was hoping from the beginning, and she got her wish. Can't wait. Brace yourselves for the Octa Evil Tsitsipas drama, baby. The drama. Yeah, go Steph, says Harvey. Australia is both a country and a continent. At least when I was in school, things changed. I graduated 50 years ago. Yeah, I mean, even when I was in high school, Pluto was a planet, and now it's not. It's not considered. So yeah, things do change. Kathy unhappy about the Steph, crying happy tears. If Steph wins Rome, he will have some chance for Roland Garros. I agree with you there. Yeah, good call there, Snail. Especially as we mentioned, without Rafa, the most wide open. I think a lot of people are going to feel a little bit more confidence than they ever have. GTL, cheers, triple time. Cheers, Covey. Thank you, Sean. Thank you again for always having great engagement. Really appreciate that. Can you imagine Med saying Capricorn beating Steph on clay? Steph would surely die. Yeah, that would be a really big one. Very, very big one. Yeah, make it happen, Stefanil, for tomorrow. I think it's in a couple of days, just so you know. Thank you, Covey, says Max. They seem to say now Australia is a country. I think because New Zealand is also considered in Oceania. I believe that's another term for that region. So it's Australia plus the surrounding islands. I would cry happy tears if Med beats Steph. And I think we should end it on this. Snail saying GTL Covey. We got the Covey emoji. So thank you very much, Snail from Mumbai, one of my favorites and one of our loyal subscribers here, saying great stream. Kathy also doing the Covey emoji. Thank you guys very much. Well, that is it for me. I was on earlier with Ben in regards to the news about Rafa. I got to do this match today. Please do hit like on this button, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned to the channel. We will be showing you the rest of the tournament. We've got I'm not sure if we're going to do every single match, but I think it might be in the cards. We'll see. But definitely stay tuned to the channel. And one way that you'll find out is if you subscribe. So thank you very much. I'm Covey, and I'll see you all very soon. Peace out, GTL fam.